I think that NBA execs should listen to me because I may not know what it takes to win a championship, but I know what definitely does not work, and it's this. That combination specifically, because we've seen it happen so much. People keep trying it, and I don't understand it because it's literally never worked. Yo, I'm Jericho, and this is Zap. We are the now 6-time international award-winning pop hip-hop duo Bandit Future. We make clean, fun music that everyone can listen to with a sound that is uniquely Californian. And now you're tuned into the Life's a Circus podcast, where we talk about stuff that is just fun, interesting, or straight up ridiculous. So before we get into it, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share this video with at least 2 people that really like basketball. We got to talk
basketball.
All right, man. I got a question for you. I'm gonna list some duos. Okay, so tell me, how many championships do these duos have? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna list the duos and you tell me. Okay, so Jason Kidd and Kenyon Martin.
You mean like individually or together?
While they were together, how many championships do they have? Okay, Jason Kidd, Kenyon Martin.
I'm going to say 0.
Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire.
I'm also going to say 0.
John Stockton and Karl Malone.
Definitely 0.
Gary Payton and Sean Kemp.
I'm going to say 0 there too.
Kevin Johnson and Tom Chambers.
I only kind of know one of those people.
Okay.
But I'm going to just go with the trend and say 0.
You're trendy, man. Chris Paul and Blake Griffin.
0.
How about Drew Holiday and Anthony Davis?
That's a 0 as well.
Where am I going with this? Have you noticed the trends? Okay, so what I've listed are duos that are comprised of a pretty good point guard, like all-star level point guard, and a big man, like a forward that's pretty athletic. I think they're known more for playing inside. And the number of championships they have together, all of them combined, is a big old 0, right? So I think that NBA execs should listen to me because I may not know what it takes to win a championship, but I know what definitely does not work, and it's this. That combination specifically, because we've seen it happen so much. People keep trying it, and I don't understand it because it's literally never worked. Now, Kid Martin.
Hold on. So what is it specifically? It's
a point guard that is really good. So an all-star level point guard and an athletic forward.
Okay.
Now, if you can think of an exception, then I'll wait. But I don't think there is one. No, I don't think there is one. Like, those are the 2 big names. Those are the people we went to see. Those 2 people on the team.
Does Golden State not count during the Kevin Durant years?
Now, Kevin Durant isn't like these. Kevin Durant will shoot from the parking lot. These guys were back to the basket, face up, dunk on your mom for the most part, right? Kevin Durant ain't that guy. He could get up a little bit, but he was basically he's a guard to me. He's a tall guard.
So you're talking about like a more traditional 4.
Yeah, a traditional 4 plus
in the paint.
But like the 4 is really athletic usually.
I was gonna say San Antonio Spurs.
I don't know. Duncan was good on defense, back to the basket. That's it.
So you're talking like more of a rim runner type.
Just lob threat, lob sitting,
Okay.
All those if you watch highlights of any of these duos, it's just spectacular. It's just, oh my God, he's just tossed it up from half court and he threw it down or whatever. And then they get to the ultimate thing. And at least Martin and Kidd, and then of course Payton and Kemp and Stockton and Malone, they made it to the finals. But they were just overmatched. And then these other guys didn't make it even close. Chris Paul and Blake Griffin, of course, the most disappointing of all of them. I thought they had at least a chance to make it, you know what I mean? But so people keep trying this formula, and nowadays there's 2 specific ones that I look at: the Trae Young John Collins duo in Atlanta, and the LaMelo Ball Miles Bridges duo in Charlotte. And if you look at them, it's like, it's just not going to work. It's never worked. It's just not going to work. But people keep trying this thing, and you know what made it even more I guess, prevalent. I think NBA Jam, if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, because that was the most fun thing to do. You get the point guard, he was all like this tall, and then you get the guy who just, you could throw it and he would like do the alley-oop 360 with the ball on fire kind of a thing. And someone was like, oh, that kind of idea always works. Oh, duh, I have another one. Marbury and Kevin Garnett.
Mm.
Mike Bibby and Chris Webber. I can keep going. See what I mean? It just doesn't. It always looks like that's pretty good, but it just doesn't seem to work. So I don't have the answer for what will win a championship. I think it's a combination of a few things. For sure, you got to have like a top 10 player, I think, and then you just got to have a good team. Good perimeter defenders and all that kind of stuff. But just that specifically just doesn't ever seem to get it. So I don't know if you think of maybe a way you could tweak that, because really, yeah, Duncan's like an exception, but he had more to his game than just. Man, I can keep going. Jameer Nelson and Dwight Howard. I know he was more of a center, but he kind of
I count him as a center.
Yeah, but he couldn't shoot to save his life. He jumped out the gym. They made it to the finals. Kobe said, "I don't think so."
What about?
Okay.
Rondo and KG on the Celtics.
I would have said that duo was Paul Pierce and KG. I think Rondo was he was young and kind of complimentary, and then Ray Allen was kind of all. So that was more like the big three was the draw. I'm talking about these teams those are the two guys. That's all people talk about.
They're the main franchise players, 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. The Boston had the big three, but then Rondo, of course, kind of solidified it. And I don't know. I don't know, man. Just
for some reason, I'm not sold on your theory.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Even though you give those examples.
I mean, is there an exception you can think of? Because I can't. I don't think Kyrie and LeBron don't count to me.
Well, because he's a small forward and not a power forward.
No, just because he does everything. He might be the best player ever. Imagine that. Might be. I said it with my eyebrows going up. Might be, but no, he's a little more. You're comparing LeBron James to Blake Griffin. I'm talking about all these guys. If you give them like the prototypical, they're all kind of the same guy to me. The Kenyon Martin, Amari Stoudemire, Carmelo had a little more of a jumper, I guess, especially in his later years. But if you looked in his early, he just ran and dunked on everybody with his arm like this. Sean Kemp could just dunk. Chambers could just dunk. Griffin dunk. Anthony Davis, kind of. I don't really know how to put him in there. It's like he got worse as he got older. I don't know how to explain that. He was pretty good. But
so who was like number 1 and number 2 on the Detroit Pistons championship?
That really felt like a committee kind of a group, like a group that the power was in the group. So
I don't remember who their 4 was.
It was either Rasheed Wallace or Antonio McDyess. I think Rasheed Wallace started, but they had like Chauncey, big shot man, Rip, Tayshaun Prince, Rasheed, and Ben Wallace. So those were like those 5. But I don't think you go to see them. It was cool to see them work together as a group, but it was never. I don't think so. I feel like each game that they won was like someone else kind of took over and did their thing, and then Ben Wallace was just like a thing. But for sure, Ben Wallace had no offense whatsoever. He dunked. Did he ever even make a shot? I don't even know. I think it's more for if you think about duos that really did it. Of course, Jordan Pippen, Magic and Kareem, Magic Worthy.
Well, that's the thing. Is like I'm trying to, because what you're saying feels like, I don't want to say ambiguous, but it feels like there's something else. There's something else that needs to be said to have it make sense to me, or something.
Okay.
Because
I think they're both all-stars. Those two players are both all-stars on the team, the point guard and the forward. And the forward had a limited offensive package. Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense because you think, okay, like, so why wouldn't they win? And you think about like what happens in the playoffs. It's like I think it becomes a lot harder for those two positions, right? Because everyone, if you're trying to stop an offense, you're trying to stop the initiator of the offense, which is the point guard. If your point guard's really good, you're trying to get the ball out of his hands. So, they say like other people have to step up during the playoffs and stuff like that.
Right.
So, and then just like the height, the point guard, it's easier to get blocked or pushed around or stuff like that.
A little more physical.
And it is in the regular season. And then you think about the forward, it's like, well, if someone is limited offensively and you can take them out of like their comfort zone, then I think it's just easier to do. It's just like that, like you said, the whole CP3, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, Lob City kind of thing. It worked in the regular season, but it's like it wasn't that Lob City thing in the playoffs because somehow defensively people were able to just like shut that down. So, which kind of, because then I'm questioning like, well, is it? I don't know if this is the angle you're going to. Is it like a position thing? Because most championships, it's the shooting guard and the center who are like the 1 and 2 guys on the team. Kobe and Shaq, Kobe and Powell, Jokic.
Murray.
Murray. Well, Murray's a point guard, right?
I mean, technically, until someone proves it wrong, that's just the thing. If someone comes along and wins and kills it, then sure. But I think it's just limited. And what you mentioned was those two positions have a hard time. You have to have when they built the wall for Giannis and he just couldn't figure it out for a long time. And then I'm not so sure what was so great about that. Well, his team got better to make
or maybe it's not. Maybe it's I don't know. Because there's just so many different ways to win. Because it's now that I say that, I think of teams that the center wasn't the focus. If you think Bulls, you think Jordan and Pippen. You don't think
sure, yeah.
Horace Grant. Or if you think the Miami teams like LeBron James and D Wade, like you don't think Alonzo Mourning and Udonis Haslem. So I don't. No, but to your credit, I can't think of any point guard, limited forward.
Right. So I'm not saying what works because I don't know what works, but I know what doesn't work, and it's this. This doesn't. But people keep trying it, and I'm like, man, all right. Good luck with that.
But it seems like you can have a point guard, but your forward needs to like be able to do some stuff.
Yeah.
Like the Spurs and the Mavericks.
Yeah, because Jason Kidd won with Dirk.
Yeah, Jason with Dirk, Tony Parker, and Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
So
all you forwards out there, just get a jumper. I was watching. I'm watching the videos of Lob City because it's like one of the greatest things you ever saw until it got to the playoffs. But like. You watch Blake Griffin, and it's just like, man, if he could only just shoot a little bit, bro. Like, it'd be like, he would just dunk, and then it wears him down because he's trying to get to the basket, and they're just fouling the heck out of him, and then, he gets beat up. But if he could, like, keep him guessing, like, AD can, people that really have a nice jumper. Chris Webber had a pretty good jumper. KD, Kevin Garnett got one kind of later in his career. You just got to be able to keep him guessing because if you just, anyone can, because everyone, the level of athleticism kind of gets balanced out. Even Blake, good Lord, that guy could just dunk anything. Like, it's just not even fair. So maybe, or if you can think of one that I'm missing, maybe maybe you're like, oh, you know, in the Greek leagues in the 50s, Cam Pampatine's like, I'm sorry, I didn't know him. I don't know him, but maybe if that worked in some other league, and you know, I know the NBA isn't the only league in the world. Maybe that's I'm missing it.
All right. Yeah, man. Let us know in the comments. Leave a comment. Make sure you like, subscribe, share this video with the power forward who needs to work on his game. And
Mark Price and Brad Daugherty, they didn't win either. Oh,
what?
Mark Price and Brad Daugherty. No, it was Mark Price and Larry Nance. There we go. Yeah. They didn't win either because they got beat by that shot by Jordan, and it was like, jumping in there. Yeah.
I see.
The same.
A way to ruin my close of the show.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to shout him out.
I was trying to end it, man.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
You just jumping all in.
I'm sorry. I'm
jumping all in.
I'm jumping.
I'm trying to end the show, and you trying to take my job. You can't take my job. You can't have it.
They took our jobs. They took our jobs.